Good day and welcome. Today is the first episode of Old Guy Garage. I'm your host, The Old Guy. We are YouTube's newest automotive enthusiast channel. Say that 3 times fast. I've been out there in the weeds for a long time, watching, listening to others doing a great job with their YouTube networks, especially those interested in automobiles and the automobile hobby, making cars go faster, look better, safer, introducing all kinds of technology. And I've been around since the original muscle car days. That's a long time. So I've seen a lot, I've done a lot. In future episodes, I'd like to share my experiences and knowledge with you to help you enjoy the automobile enthusiast hobby or movement, whatever you may call it. Get more enjoyment out of it. Maybe augment what you've seen in other YouTube channels. And just have some fun. Part of my inspiration for starting this channel, starting Old Guy Garage YouTube channel, was a lot of the young people, young men and young women, that I've watched over many, many months producing their own YouTube channels and doing a magnificent job at it. I've learned a lot myself. There's some pretty inventive and clever people out there on the other end of these cameras. And as a car guy, I'm impressed at what they've done with their automobiles and what they're willing to do, the money they spend, the great results they get. And this helps move the hobby forward. After the initial wave of muscle cars, when the government came in with smog regulations, insurance companies bit down hard, we had the fake oil crisis, things almost died for automobile enthusiasts. Just a few people out there, car manufacturers and others, kept the movement going. That's what's so important about cars like the mid-70s, Camaros, Trans Ams, even the Mustang II. What's important? It kept the movement going. It kept muscle cars alive. It was a little spark. It was a little spark. It kept muscle cars alive. It was just that little spark that we all needed to keep hope for the future. Eventually, technology caught up with the smog regulations. We found out that the world's not running out of oil, not today anyway. The insurance companies streamlined their rates a little bit. Young people found a way to buy and own the cars they loved. Fast forward through the 80s and 90s, slowly but surely, horsepower started rising. Cars became safer. Brakes became better. Car designers got a little more clout. We got through the 90s and there were some important cars in the 90s. The original Corvette ZR1, the Viper, the continuation of the Mustangs. Unfortunately, for a short time, we lost the Camaro and we totally lost the Trans Am, which is a shame as far as I'm concerned. We bounced back. We took the fire that developed from that spark in the 90s and we followed up the Viper and the Corvette with bigger, better engines. You saw faster Mustangs, Camaros, Trans Ams. And once that fuse was lit, it never stopped. We got into the early 2000s, and what happened? Ford made the tremendous decision to restyle the Mustang with a retro theme. And that caught fire. And that caused GM and Chrysler to take a step back and realize what they were missing. From there, we got the new Camaro, the new Challenger. The four-door Charger is still something I'm trying to get my head around, although they've done a great job turning it into a legitimate muscle car. It is badass. You get a Hellcat Charger, Scat Pack Charger, or any of those combinations, you've got a fast, legitimate muscle car. And don't let anybody fool you. The handling's not that bad. You take that Renaissance from Detroit, and then inspired the young people that are currently producing those great YouTube channels. The ones that inspired me to get out there and add my voice to the automotive hobby. And I really would like to thank some of them. I'm probably going to forget a few of them, but it's not a slight on purpose. But when I started looking up automotive channels on YouTube, I did all kinds of searches, and some of the first ones I found were SRT Mush down south with his Charger Hellcat, beautiful car. Muscle versus Tuner. The guys in Pennsylvania, Street Speed 717, Guitarmageddon ZL1. Coming to my neck of the woods here, Chicago area, Family Cruising, who's really done a good job building up his subscriber base. Fella in Minnesota, Tall Guy Car Reviews. Sometimes I do a tongue twister and I say Tall Car Guy Reviews, but it's because I'm old. Then you go out west in Texas, you got the Van Voris brothers with both of their Hellcats and other miscellaneous machinery that they ride and videotape, doing a great job out there. And then there's more mainstream people like Doug DeMuro with his car reviews, with his millions of subscribers. And it goes on and on. But these are the channels, some of the channels that I watched that inspired me. And I said to myself, boy, they've got a great story to tell here. I think I can add to that story. So I watched, I listened, practice. Oh, I've got practice videos you can't believe. Tested different equipment to make sure I was putting a decent product out there. Can't tell you how many microphones I went through before I found something I liked. And by the way, I'm not using an actual GoPro. I have a couple what you might call GoPro clones or knockoffs, and they seem to do a respectable job. Until I'm ready to worry about winning an Academy Award for videography, I'll stick with these. I'll eventually go with the GoPro once I've decided to keep this up for the long term. In the meantime, all those channels I just mentioned, I want to thank them. Tip of the hat for inspiring me to get out here and share the knowledge and experience I have with the automobile industry. And we're going to be doing a lot of different things on this channel. Discuss some topics that maybe haven't been addressed on other channels. And you'll find it interesting. We're going to try and answer some questions that maybe no one's asked yet. We're going to answer a lot of questions that haven't been answered. I'll be talking about all the cars I've owned in the years, probably over 20 Mopar products, bunch of GM products, some Ford products, couple vehicles made across the ocean, all good cars. I enjoyed every one of them. Some sports cars, some convertibles, and eventually we're going to talk about every one of them. And I think you'll find them interesting. So until then, I appreciate you watching this first video. I'm going to ask you the same thing that everybody else does. Please click subscribe, tap the bell notification, and give us a thumbs up. I already have a few other episodes in the can, as they say, which will be coming out very shortly after I release this initial one. So until then, better not just to be history, better to make history. Have a great day, 'cause I will.